Hello everyone, and today I will be reading all of chapter 1 of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I will do chapter 2 and I will do it up to book 4. Okay. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Lived. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. Dursley was the director of a firm called Grunnings, which made drills. He was a big, beefy man with hardly any neck. Although he did have a large mustache, Mrs. Dursley was thin and blonde. He had nearly twice the usual amount of neck, which came in very useful as she spent so much of her time craning over garden fences, spying on the neighbors. The Dursleys had a small son called Dudley, and in their opinion, there was no finer boy anywhere. The Dursleys had everything they wanted, but they also had a secret. Their greatest fear was that someone would discover it. That's page 1, so I just need to they didn't think they could bear it if anyone found out about the Potters. Mrs. Potter was Dursley's sister. Mrs. Dursley's sister, I mean. What? But they hadn't met for several years. In fact, Mrs. Dursley pretended she didn't have a sister because their sister was, and her good-for-nothing husband were as un-Dursley as it was possible to be. The Dursleys shuddered to think what the neighbors would say if the Potters arrived in the street. The Dursleys knew that the Potters had a small son too, but they had never seen him. This boy was another good reason for keeping the Potters away. They didn't want Dudley mixing with a child like that. When Mr. and Mrs. Dursley woke up on the dull, gray Tuesday, our story starts. There was nothing about the cloudy sky outside to suggest that the strange and mysterious things would soon be happening all over the country. Mrs. Dursley hummed as she picked out his most boring tie for work, and Mrs. Dursley gossiped away happily as she wrestled a screaming Dudley into his high chair. None of them noticed a large tawny owl flutter past the window. At 8:30, Mr. Dursley picked up his briefcase, pecked Mrs. Dursley on the cheek, and tried to kiss Dudley goodbye, but missed, because Dudley was now having a tantrum and throwing his cereal at the walls. Little Tyke chortled Mr. Dursley as he left the house. He got into his car and backed out of number 4's drive. It was on the corner of the street that he noticed the first sign of something peculiar. A cat reading a map. For a second, Mr. Dursley didn't realize what he had seen, but then he jerked his head around to look again. There was a tabby cat standing on the corner.